On college campuses today, students are punished for everything from mild satire to writing politically incorrect short stories to having the wrong opinion on virtually every hot-button issue. In the most extensive study yet conducted of campus speech codes, FIRE, that's the Foundation for Individual Rights in Education, found that 65% of the 392 top colleges surveyed maintain speech codes and other restrictions on expression that violate First Amendment principles. Administrators have been able to convince well-meaning students to accept outright censorship by creating the impression that freedom of speech is somehow the enemy of social progress and that any speech with a chance of offending someone should be immediately silenced. At the University of Georgia, resident assistants have actually been required to call the police to address violations of the school's acts of intolerance policy, mostly students teasing each other or making crude jokes. At Indiana University, Purdue University, Indianapolis, Keith John Sampson, a middle-aged student and janitor, was found guilty without so much as a hearing of racial harassment for reading a book in public. Some of his co-workers were offended by the cover of the book Notre Dame versus the Klan, How the Fighting Irish Defeated the Ku Klux Klan, which included a black and white picture of a Klan rally. Even though Sampson explained to them that it was a history book celebrating the defeat of the Klan in a 1924 street fight, the school found Sampson guilty for openly reading a book related to a historically and racially abhorrent subject. While many attempts at censorship on campus are apolitical, students are far more likely to get in trouble for opposing, for example, affirmative action, gay marriage, and abortion rights than they are for supporting them. In 2007, at the University of Delaware, resident life officials mandated ideological training called treatment of all 7,000 students who lived in their dormitories. The officials were taught to redefine language when treating the presumed intolerance of their student body. For example, according to their orientation materials, a racist is one who is both privileged and socialized on the basis of race by a white supremacist racist system. The term applies to all white people, i.e. people of European descent living in the United States regardless of class, gender, religion, culture, or sexuality. By this definition, people of color cannot be racist because as peoples within the U.S. system, they do not have the power to back up their prejudices, hostilities, or acts of discrimination. No wonder a study of 24,000 students conducted by the Association of American Colleges and Universities in 2010 revealed that only 30.3% of college seniors strongly agreed with the statement that it is safe to hold unpopular opinions on campus. Even more alarmingly, the study showed that students' sense of safety in, again, merely holding unpopular opinions steadily declines from freshman year, starting at 40.3%, to senior year. And the students were downright optimistic. Compared to the 9,000 campus professionals surveyed, only 18.8% strongly agreed that it was safe to hold unpopular opinions on campus. When you remove the process of open debate and discussion from colleges, you take away higher education's reason for existence. An educational system in which the authorities believe they should decide what is right without being questioned is more like a seminary or a madrasa, not anything deserving of the name university. It can quickly lead to the formation of polarized groups in which people harbor a comfortable, uncritical certainty that they are right. And we have seen some of the bad intellectual habits and censorship tactics that were legitimized and weaponized on college campuses bleed into society at large. Stories involving famous people like Juan Williams, Rush Limbaugh, Bill Maher, Richard Dawkins, Larry Summers, even Dave Barry and Jon Stewart provide some real-world examples. As the sociologist Diana C. Mutz discovered in her 2006 book, Hearing the Other Side, those with the highest levels of education have the lowest exposure to people with conflicting points of view, while those who have not graduated from high school can claim the most diverse discussion mates. In other words, the most educated among us are also the most likely to live in the tightest echo chambers. Students and campus administrators are losing sight of the important role that the skeptical, questioning mind, aware of its own failings, has played in every aspect of human progress. Those who are responsible for higher education need to be reminded that society needs bright, ambitious, iconoclastic thinkers, not more foot soldiers for a seemingly endless culture war.